mental health issues. Aaron's also got mental health issues as well. Yeah. I think my childhood was quite... I wouldn't say it was crap, because there were good times, but they were very few and far between. It was mostly pain. That's the main thing I can remember about my childhood. Pain. Pain, pain, and more pain. I remember having this obsession that my heart was going to stop when I was about 11 or 12 years of age. I used to be worrying constantly. I remember going to my dad's mum's. I remember sitting up by the window, staring out at my nan's garden. I remember doing that for hours on end, because I just felt like it was the end of the world. I felt very lost as a child, very confused, very hurt and upset. And I'm sure my sister did as well, because it was very hard for us. My mum was on the verge of... My mum did actually have a breakdown, but I don't know how she done it. She kept having a dream before my dad had the illness. She kept having a dream where she was at work, and the phone rang, and it said that my dad's been rushed into hospital. And my mum had that dream a couple of times, and she told my dad. No, I don't think she told my dad about it. But she said afterwards, she said she had that dream a couple of times. And then one day, when she was in work at Rackham's, when me and my sister were kids at the time, she had the phone call, exactly like the dream that she'd been having a few times before. She had the phone call, and the phone call said, it's your husband, he's been rushed into hospital. And my mum said she screamed. My mum said she... My mum said she screamed at the top of her voice and hung up the phone, and... Sorry, I'm crying, but it's getting a lot of emotions there. My mum said she screamed at the top of her voice, and everyone looked around her, because she was working there. Everyone looked around like shocked. And apparently she more or less flopped out onto the floor. I remember as a teenager, I remember my mum would have a go at me for no reason, and then she would tell me to fuck off and this, that and the other, and she'd say fuck off and don't ever come back here again. I remember many times oh god, that's too much. I remember many times sitting in the alleyway, sitting in the gully, and thinking to myself, I'm never going back to the house. I'm never going back to the house. I'm never going back to the house. I remember thinking that over and over again at about the age of about 14, 15. I remember thinking that. I used to go back. I always used to go back, yeah. Just before we went to sleep. I used to just sneak up to my room without saying a word to anyone. I don't know. I think sometimes when a major illness like that happens, it doesn't just affect the person who's having the major illness. It affects the family and that around them. Because my mum completely changed. She really did change. She changed from this nice person to this. It's a bit difficult. I'd prefer not to say a monster, but yeah, she was. She really knew how to. She really knew how to make me feel unloved. And as for my dad, he's never really recovered. He has constant nurses that go into him every day. He's still alive today, but he has nurses go into him about 4 times a day. He has carers come into him. He has 24-hour carers. He has extra carers to get him out of bed, and extra carers to take him into the living room, and he can't eat and drink anymore. He has to have a tube into his stomach. That's very hard. He barely knows who I am. He barely knows who my sister is. He barely knows who my niece is. I've gotten used to that, but I just remember from a young age, I remember I really wanted to help my mum. I really wanted to help her, but I didn't know how to. I remember I really wanted to help my dad, but I didn't know how to. And I think because I didn't know how to, I think I took that blame on myself because I didn't know how to help them. And I hated myself for it. for so many years I couldn't watch a film with a father and son relationship in it, because I just used to break down in floods of tears. For many years I couldn't watch a film with a father and son in it. I felt really, really sad and uncomfortable watching them kind of films. I think as well, this is the reason why I used to feel annoyed with Aaron when he used to steal off his dad and stuff. Because 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 I always wanted a dad growing up. That's what I wanted. I always wanted a dad growing up. That's what I wanted more than anything when I was growing up. As a teenager, I used to see other children with their parents, and I used to wonder what it was like to have a dad. I remember me and my sister pushing my dad around in a chair down the corridors of the hospital. I think because my dad's severely disabled, we wasn't getting any attention off him, so we were taking him around in his chair, and I think there was like a corridor that goes downhill, and I think we nearly knocked the chair into the wall. I didn't mean to. I just remember having a feeling of wanting to connect with my dad. I just wanted love and affection off him, and off my mum at the same time. I mean, my mum's calmed down a lot over the years. She's a lot more calmer now than what she was. I think that hit her very hard, my dad's illness. Because my mum was only 29 at the time that my dad was taken ill. And it was very sudden, and it was very serious. The doctors really struggled to keep my dad alive. My mum was asked, after my dad was on life support for 6 months, my mum was asked the doctors asked my mum whether she wants to switch the life support machine off. But my mum couldn't do it. The doctor recommended that she unplugs the life support machine, because the doctor says he won't get any. He might get a little bit better, but he won't be back to how he was. And it's so hard. So hard. I think the only person I've spoke to all this about, apart from a counsellor, is my friend in London, Alan Margin. He used to sit and listen to me when I was younger. He used to sit and listen to me all night sometimes. Yeah. But I don't want to blame anyone on this video. I mean, I love my mum, I love my dad, I love my sister, I love my niece, I love all of you. And I don't want to cast any blame on anyone. I'm just saying how I felt at the time. I'm saying how I felt all them years ago.